Yes, today again. This is me, Hudson George, going live again. Hudson George today. Today, my topic is not about politics or anything. Today is the oral traditional day of storytelling. Now, those of you who celebrating Mother's Day, I hope you guys doing it right. There is nothing called Mother's Day. It's Ancestors' Day. Because if you're celebrating your Mother's Day or your Father's Day, whether they're alive or if they die already, you cannot do it that way. You have to celebrate Mother's Day from way back, from creation. Because your mother had a mother, and your mother had a mother until you go back to creation. The same for your father. They both had a father and a mother. And your mother had a father too. And it goes right back to the original. So the Y chromosome and the X chromosome is what create male and female, and it go back to creation. So celebrate all your ancestors' Mother's Day today. And when Father's Day come, celebrate all ancestors' Father's Day. So anyway, today's story time, you know. I'm in the oral tradition, you know. And once you have the African blood in you, you got to have the oral tradition. I don't care how educated you become, and you want to become Anglo-Saxon and you want to give up your tradition in mannerism, language usage, that's your business. But I'm in the oral tradition, and whoever fight me down in the past with my oral tradition, whether in writing or in spoken words or how I do it, all you can't stop me. You might only block me in certain areas, but you can't stop me. Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Him. So I'm alive, so I have the Word in me, so I'm going to use the Word today. So my topic today is about two women who contacted me. You know, I was run a blog, a WordPress blog called HudsonGeorge.blog. And two women contact me on my blog and tell me they want to come to Grenada to study wood. They say they got a PhD in botany and forestry, so they want to study wood. Forest wood. So I asked them, why is Grenada they choose? And why contact me? They told me they heard about an old woodman in Grenada they once called Mouche Bois. And he knew all the woods in the forest. And secondly, why they choose Grenada? They told me they're scared of snakes, you know. You know, women are scared of snakes, eh? From the early days of creation. You know the story in the Bible about Eve and the snake. Most women scared about snakes. They heard Grenada were poisonous snakes. So they're going to visit Grenada, you know. But let me tell all you something. Them woman and them, they told me they are professional climbers. They're good at climbing rocks and all kind of thing and trees, and they all kind of equipment to climb trees. I said, okay, you could come down. So they asked me what Mouche Bois was for me. I said, well, Mouche Bois wasn't nothing for me. But I remember Mouche Bois. I used to burn coals as a little boy, you know. You go up in your mountain, your parents, you burn coals Christmas time. So I have an idea who is Mouche Bois. So they asked me if I have a little alias name. I say, okay, or you could call me Fouet Bois. That means Fouet Bois. You could call me Fouet Bois, you know. I say, all right, well, you could come down. They come down. When they come down, before they come, they give me a list. They put me on a test. They ask me if I no glory cedar tree. I tell them yes. I no glory cedar tree. They ask me if it's a hardwood tree. I say, yeah, it's kind of hard, you know, but it's not that extra hard and so, you know, but it's kind of hard. And when you're burning coals with it, if you try to burn glory cedar wood, you have to burn it many times with different pits of coal wood before the glory cedar wood burn. Because glory cedar wood produce a lot of water. And I told them rose wood to have a lot of water. So if you try to burn this wood with other wood, they wouldn't burn the first time. You want to go get the coals. They start to laugh. They say, what? It got a lot of water in it. They start to smile. So I start reading between the line, okay? Well, they ask me about Campeche wood. I tell them, yeah, they tell me the old Campeche is a hard wood and it grow by the bay on the coastal. And I say, yeah, Campeche wood was a wood before there was no cure for venereal disease, what you call VD. When people get venereal disease, they used to use Campeche wood. Those days they didn't have no penicillin yet. And that was the only wood. They told me the hot Campeche wood good for cooking food too. It's hardwood. I say, yeah, it's not a big tree, but you have a lot of fire. And they told me, okay, well, when we come Grenada, they want me to cook some food for them with Campeche wood. But they warn me. They tell me, don't push too much wood in the fire too fast when I'm cooking the food. I just have to make the fire hot with a 2, 3, 4 sticks of wood and keep pushing it all the time. I say, all right, I could do that for you. Anyway, then they asked me what a wood called Lagine. I say, yeah, I know Lagine wood. It's a big tree up in Hermitage of a lot. And Lagine tree is a nice tree. When your sun take the leaf is very green. It just give it a nice color with the sun. But I want them with the Lagine wood. I told them it's a big tree. They say they have the equipment to climb it. I say, all right, come down and you go see. But I want them, if they try to burn Lagine wood, it have a kind of a chemical in it when it creates smoke, it could affect your eyes. All right, well, they come down. I get a taxi for them. We pick them up. I pick them up at the airport. Man, them ladies come down with tent and all kind of thing. I take them up to Ticola Mountain to leave the camping up there. So then they start telling me now, well, they're interested in some wood trees that bear fruits. I say, okay. And they told me they like to climb trees, wood trees that bearing fruits, because when they climb the wood tree, they like to suck the fruits on the tree. I say, okay. They asked me if I know bui. I say, yeah, I know bui. And the bigger one, we say star apple or jamun. They tell me they would like to climb the bui tree and the star apple tree, the jamun tree. I say, all right, I'll could climb it. They asked me how the fruit tastes. I say, it tastes good, but when you climb it and you suck the bui, it kind of sticky around your mouth. They start to laugh. They start to laugh. I say, okay. Then they ask me about a fruit called poidu. I say, yeah, it's a 3 type of poidu in Grenada. You have the regular poidu in a big pod and the leaves big. But the tree is not a big tree, but it's very tasty. I tell them they don't have to use big equipment to climb that type of poidu tree. And there is another poidu what kind of wild, but it's not the best quality poidu. Then I told them there is a poidu in the forest on a tree called the kakoli tree. But when they hear the kakoli tree, they get excited. They ask me how the wood is on that tree. I tell them the wood is very hard. So, all right, they get excited with the word kakoli tree. All right. So, we up in the mountain. They tell me they would like to get, before we go on the trip, they like to use some local porridge. They told me they heard about arrowroot porridge. I said, well, arrowroot, yeah, arrowroot in Grenada, but St. Vincent is more known for arrowroot porridge. But I could make them a nice Tanya porridge or Tanya log. They tell me, all right. So morning time, I get some Tanya for them. Because I sleeping in the tent too, you know. I'm in the tent with them, you know what I mean? So I make some Tanya porridge for them and thing. And then in use this aluminium spoon, you know, them spoon that make from steel and so, and tin. I brought up with me a wooden pallet. So I pour my little condensed milk and we're making the porridge. So when I test the thing, I put my condensed milk, I put my little thing, slow fire. They like to see the cooking on the slow fire. So when I turn the pallet in the porridge and thing, and I pour a little in my hand and I taste it. The two ladies now, one name is Miss Jobolo. I'd forget to give the name. Miss Steiner is from Germany. But Miss Jobolo was born in Switzerland. But her parents came from Central Africa Republic. They ran away from Bokassa. So they were refugees in Switzerland. And she born there, you know. But she's still interested in Faris. But them ladies like, now, they watch the palette and they like it. And they like to see how the Tanya log is on the palette. So they asked me to give them the palette to do the stirring. So I sit down on a little old wooden stool there and a kind of, you know what I mean? I notice they dip in the thing in the palette in the Tanya porridge. And they licking it and they kind of laughing. I said, well, what kind of thing is that wrong with these ladies and them? Well, anyway, when the Tanya log cook and thing and it kind of cool, they drink. We drink the Tanya log. But they won't leave the pallet alone. They still licking up pallet. So, all right. After that now, they tell me I have to take them on a mission now. They ask me, what is the tallest tree, the biggest tree in Grenada? The biggest set of trees? I tell them, well, Lagina is a big tree. But you have Tantakayo, you have Flamboya, and the giant tree in Grenada is the silk cotton tree. Well, all equipment to climb, they tell me they all like to see a silk cotton tree. But taking them to the silk cotton tree, I wanted to show them a small silk cotton tree first. But before we meet the silk cotton tree, the small tree, we came across what you call a sandbox tree. And you know sandbox tree have a lot of pica on it. Thorn. So when I watch it, it was summertime, you know, and sandbox is a thing in summertime. They just explode on the tree, the sandbox, what he produced, packs. So when they start falling, they pick it up and they taste the sandbox and they realize it's sweet. You have a nice sweet taste. So Miss Jibolo and Miss Steiner decide now they go climb that sandbox tree. I tell them, no, you can't climb that tree. You have too much thorn on it, too much pica. They try, but they couldn't make it. They had to come down, too much pica. But anyway, they like the sandbox. They eat. I told them, if they eat too much, it's like a laxative. It's not too good for them if they eat too much. But I eat a few. But I tell them I know a little bush medicine. If anything happen with them, I have a little bit of white ven plant in my pocket. I could make some tea for them. If it come up like laxative to them, all right. Later a few days, they like the taste, but they can't climb the tree. We walk a little further, we meet the small silk cotton tree. But young silk cotton tree does have a lot of thorn on it too. They wanted to climb it, but when they watch it, they say not too much thorn. So I took them to the big silk cotton tree, man. When they see it, they take out all the equipment to climb, but when they watch the circumference of that tree, Miss Steiner say, no, we can't embrace that tree, we can't handle it. So we leave it. Then we travel about 2 miles again. I take them to where the buoys, and the star apple. So they take out the equipment, they climb the buoy tree, but buoy is a thing, the branch very strong, man. Man, if you see them ladies swing on them buoy, on the buoy branch, but the branch are breaking it them. And they sucking buoy, they eating buoy. And all this the sticky gum around the buoy, around the mouth, you know what I mean? And they swinging on the tree, you know, right? After they leave that, come down the tree all around the mouth, sticky. Then I take them to the jamun tree, which is the star apple, the bigger fruit. They suck a few, but they climb it, they suck. But they tell me that they rather the buoy. I ask them why. They tell me when they suck the buoy, it's sticky. They like the stickiness around the mouth. And also they like swinging on the branch, you know, the wooden branch on the buoy tree. It's more exciting. They didn't too fond of the star apple. So then I noticed Miss Steiner open my book and then she start telling me about palm trees. I say, yeah, Grenada, all kind of palm, you know. Yeah, palm trees way up in the forest, but I don't know that type name. And there's a next kind of palm tree we just called boajaba. Man, he could just make nest on it and thing. But what happened? The women, they know a little bit of French. So Miss Jobolo now, being as, you know, Switzerland, they speak a little French, they too. And she parents is from the Central African Republic. So she know a little bit of French, so they could break it. She said, boajab wood. That is devil wood. I say, yeah, man, devil wood, but it's not that kind of tree you like to climb, you know. It does have a lot of insects on it, and they go bite you when you're climbing it. She asked me what kind of insects. I tell her, yeah, one called flammer, tack. You know, she said, oh, okay, if I climb it, too much of biting insects on it. I said, ah, yes. Then I show them the tree. I say, it don't make sense, don't climb. Too much biting insects. So then now, they tell me, Miss Steiner opened my book and she showed me a tree called the GruGru tree. I say, yeah, that's a GruGru tree in Grenada. They tell me they would like to see it, they want to climb it. Well, I said, this tree are the most strong. Most picker, you can climb it. And even the old GruGru tree, all 500 years ago, still a picker. Man, I take them to a old GruGru tree, man. Them ladies and them take out all the climbing instrument, they start climbing the GruGru tree. Because I told them the green GruGru, you could eat it and you have a nice gum on it. So they climbing this GruGru tree now to taste the green GruGru. And anything sticky in them mouth, they like it. And I told them it kind of taste sticky. Man, them ladies and them, they climb them GruGru trees, you know. But boy, what happened with them? By the time they start to reach the GruGru branch, Pika take them, they had to come back down. So now, they pick up a few dry GruGru on the ground, they break it and they eat it. But they tell me, this is not really what they wanted. They wanted to taste the GruGru on the tree, the green sticky one, you know. So after that now, the next day we went back in the camp, we sleep. Morning time, I took them to a next area to test wood. Because they're interested in wood. And they have all kind of equipments to test the content of the wood. The quality, the type of things that the wood make of. Alright? I say, okay. I take them now to where they go get some poidu. Take them to the regular poidu, the nice poidu, the tasty one. They suck the poidu, but them women are professional climbers. They didn't even use the equipments to climb that regular poidu tree. They didn't use it. So they climb, they suck Poidu, but I tell them don't swing on the Poidu branch. If they swing on it, the branch gonna break early. They suck the Poidu one thing, they tell me it tasting good. And they tell me sucking that Poidu it come like a kind of oral thing for them. They like it. You know? Oral for them, sucking fruits. They call it oral. It's a kind of oral thing for them. They enjoy the Poidu, but I want them just swim on the branch go break too quick. They tell me, okay, they take my advice, they suck the Poidu, they enjoy it. But they tell me, no. They won't fool around trees with branch that just break quick. They don't like wood what breaking quick at all. They don't like that. So they told me, all right, they want to go where the kakoli tree is now. They asked me how the branch is. I tell them kakoli tree have strong branch, man. And the chunk very rough. Well, they were excited. We walking now. Walk about 30, for about 35 minutes to reach the kakoli tree. When they reach the kakoli tree, Miss Jobolo watched the chunk. She touched it. She said, he looking rough. You know, he looking kind of rough and thing, you know what I mean? Miss Steiner take out she camera, she take out a photo. They put on the equipments. Man, them woman climb up them kakoli tree, they start steaming all on them wooden branch and thing, and they start sucking kakoli Poidu, man. Well, that was the greatest excitement for them. I on the ground there long. Them woman and them spend long time on the kakoli tree, you know. They don't come in down at all. They suck kakoli, they swing on branch, they take out the equipment, they test all the ingredients in the kakoli tree. At a time I get tired, they won't come down the kakoli tree. At a time Miss Steiner come down, then she said, she come down for a little bit, then I see she run up the tree again. Miss Jibolo come down the kakoli tree. She says she going and pee, she coming back. She come back, they run up the tree again, they suck more kakoli Poidu. Alright, well that was the day for them. They enjoy the kakoli thing. But also, they use a kind of equipment to take some substance of the kakoli tree. And I noticed they write down something in the diary, you know. After that, we head back to the camp. That night, we met Tanya porridge again. But they didn't so interested in the Tanya porridge because they enjoy the kakoli tree so much, you know, and so they went to bed early. Next morning now, we mission now is to go up way up in the forest to see wild palm. But I tell her them wild palm and them, they don't really have no fruits on it or anything. I'm not too sure. But there's a fruit in the mountain called penny piece. They asked me if penny piece wood hard. I tell them, yeah, penny piece wood hard. And it does be a fruit. Only manikou does suck that. And monkey. They asked me if Grenada monkey. I say, yeah, Grenada monkey. Grenada have a species of monkey from West Africa called Mona monkey. If you go to Ghana, you will find Mona monkey there, and I think Nigeria and Togo too. And they say, oh, that's interesting. And I say, yeah, the Frenchman brought this monkey to Grenada. So we head up to the forest, man, way up below Kublal Mountain, you know. We cross over to St. Andrew, under the Kublal Mountain. I take them down to a place called Selina Hill in Florence Mountain. If you watch the map, there's a place over Chicolo Mountain, in the back of Chicolo called Florence Mountain. I take them down that valley there. But the woman and them, they're afraid them thing. Them is good climbers and thing. We go down Selina Hill. We cross the river what border St. Andrew from St. Patrick. So we go over to St. Andrew now from St. Patrick. And a new way has some penny piece. Because when I was a younger boy, when I was building the Kublal Telex satellite place, a couple of us, they go and climb Kublal Mountain from that area. So I took them up there. Well, Papa, up there, that mountain real high, you know. Kublal is a high mountain, and certain place, if you fall, you have to get mountain climbers to get you. Well, there were them women like they climbing up mountain, or take them with the penny pieces. Penny piece tree is not a big, big tree in circumference, but the wood is hard. They climb the penny piece tree, they suck penny piece, and so they swing on the branch. They test the wood. They eat the fruit, but they tell me, okay, the fruit kind of nice, but still, the bui and the kakoli powder is the best. So when we come back down now, the next day they tell me they want me to cook some food for them, but it's slow cooking. Slow cooking. So we decide now we go cook now, and they ask me which is the type of wood I think is the best wood for the slow cooking. Because they told me they don't want me to pack a lot of wood under the fire. They just want 1 or 2 pieces of wood under the fire. So I ask them why. They tell me it's 3 of us. We're doing something like it's 3 of us cooking. It's like 3 of us, 3 some cooking. So the instruction they give me, that they are cook plantain for them, ground provision, and so. And we had a little bit of salt fish, like what you call canned fish. Cook up that for them. So in the beginning, I put about 6 pieces of wood on the fire, and the fire start making smoke. Miss Steiner told me, no, she don't like it, so I put in too much wood in the fire. It causing too much smoke. Miss Jobolo told me, no, I can't do that. I just have to make the fire hot. And they instruct me how they want the food to cook. It's a kind of slow cooking. And they told me I had to, every now and then, 3 pieces of wood in the fire. I have to keep pushing every time, you know. Keep the fire lighting. All right, I'll do it. When we finish, they eat. And so, they had a nice day. They eat. Well, about 6:30, they fall asleep. They get what we just call in Grenada niggeritis. Because the food was good. So now, the following morning now, they asked me about a tree called galba. I tell them here I know galba. They told me in studying forestry, they were told galba wood is a hard wood. I tell them here. But it don't be no interest in fruits that they could suck. They told them galba tree is a tree that owl and bat does eat the fruit, and it's a kind of bird pollination style. So they tell me, all right, even though they can eat the fruit, they're still excited, so to take them to the galba tree. I tell them manikou does live on it. They ask me what is a manikou. I tell them it's a possum. So I take them to a place called Peggy Swim over Hermitage. We have a lot of galba. You have a place in Peggy Swim that's called Galba Row. I took them there. They climb up the galba tree, up and down the galba tree, but there was no fruits on the galba tree. But they tell me galba is a hardwood, they enjoy it. So now, the following day, I do take them to Batway and Livera. When we reach Batway and Livera, they tell me they want to go up to Piton. They want to go up and sit on the welcome stone. But when we reached the welcome stone, I had my pattern thing with me. And there was some Campeche wood up there, you know. Campeche wood like to grow by the sea. So they tell me I have to cook food for them again. So I cook some food for them with Campeche wood and so on. I tell them, all right, Campeche food is healthy food. You're going to take out all kind of bacteria in the body. The wood give out a kind of chemical even in the smoke. I say it's similar to like when people smoke marijuana or if they eat it. So when you eat the food and the Campeche wood, it's very good for them because it has some medical remedy in it. I cook some food with Campeche wood for them. But still, the instruction they give me whilst I cooking the food with the Campeche wood, I have to push the fire slow. Slow fire. So I cook the food for them, they eat. And then they came down the mountain. So they were happy with the instruction and all the tour I gave them. And they gave me a certificate as a good tour guide. But they didn't write my name, Hudson Judge, on it. They write on the certificate, Fue boy, you know? Fue, brotherhood. That means Fue boy. Fue. They mark that on it for me. And they thank me for towing them in the Far East and showing them all the wood in the mountain. But basically, the real wood they like was the kakoli wood, the bui. They love the wood. They love the fruits. They love swinging on the bui branch and sucking the fruits. They love the feel of the kakoli wood. They like the strength of the kakoli wood. And they love the poidu on the kakoli wood. So, in Grenada, we have some very good wood and some very good fruits. And as men, we're supposed to take care of the forest and save the wood and save the fruits, plant more. And before they leave the country, they told me I should get them some bobande. But you know something? Mr. Smart Man, eh? I didn't show them bobande tree. I didn't show them at all. They tell me they want to know what the bobande tree look like. I told them it's a sacred tree. It's sacred wood. I can't bring them there. I told them I will get somebody to get me some roots. But you see, you can't show them foreign people all your secret because if you show them bobande wood, I can't show them that. If I show them bobande wood, next thing them ladies and them go chat up plane and come down Grenada. And they go on to go in the forest and interfere with all them bobande tree. They go on bobande porridge, want it in porridge. They go want it in food, they want it in rum, and it's not good for us to sell our secret. The ladies in Grenada don't like for foreigners to know that me, Hudson George, sell the bobande secret to foreigners, people who studying botany and forestry. So I saved that secret as a patriot Grenadian. I never showed them the bobande tree. So the theme of the story is save the tradition of telling story. And this is where we get with Calypso from. Don't travel into foreign land, get your PhD and your master's degree and your bachelor degree, and you lose the essence of your culture in terms of naming trees in Creole, like the patois words, what fruits certain tree bear. We must always keep that. Keep the culture and keep the oral tradition. Now we're in a crisis in Grenada, and it's good to keep the culture. As the mighty sparrow say, tell me, is too much wood in the fire? My name is Papa Boa, the king of Obia, the fire blazing and the water hot. It is time to put something in the pot. Anyway, this is Hudson Judge. I'm gone. I'll be back again. It's not every day we have to do politics. So, all who try to censor me as an oral traditionalist, they can't. This is ancestors stuff. Look out for more. I'm planning a next story to come again. This is West African culture. Survive in the Caribbean. And this is where Calypso came from. So if you are Grenadian, a Trinidadian, a Vincentian, a Dominican, a St. Lucian, you're from Guyana, and all the other islands, Barbados, Virgin Island, you understand where I'm coming from. Anyway, see you till I come again. Hudson Judge, as a sign off. I'm gone.